I grew up outside of D.C. and there's a pretty famous club there where so many of the big name jazz players would come to play. It was called Blues Alley, and at that time they piped the music out into the alley. So after that first occasion where they did let me go in, my sister talked him into letting me in. Then by myself and with other friends, I was too young to go in, but we could position trash cans and things like that out in the alley for any time anybody cracked the door, but they were piping the music out, and that's where we spent our Friday and Saturday nights. Wow. So I mean, so many of my heroes: Dexter Gordon, Sonny Rollins, Sarah Vaughan. I remember Duke Ellington played there one time. That's where we saw them. But granted, it was through a crack in the door. Right. But that was my first experience getting to hear those guys.
I still remember you talking about how much Milt Jackson meant to you. And means to you as a player and as an improviser. And can you talk more about Milt's influence on you?
One of the first things was that experience as a 15-year-old started me listening, and that then any money that we had from mowing lawns or whatever, I worked in a warehouse, working in the mailroom. Any money that we got from that, we'd buy recordings. I don't mean to date myself, but they were LPs. Right. Of course, it's all changed now. That's fine. So that started that process for me. And now that I find myself in situations in colleges, teaching a class like jazz history or something, I realized how I learned that, and that was by reading all the liner notes on the recordings. So anything with Milt Jackson on it, I picked up just because of that initial experience and how beautiful I thought his playing was. So I just started picking up all those recordings. And then from the players he played with, and maybe there was a piano player on one album who I really liked, well then I'd start picking up his. And then that gradually got me to some of the really important pivotal players. And certainly with anything that he was on. His ability to swing and how he could interpret a melody and how he could take the vibraphone and okay, I know how you can bend a note on the vibes and all that, but he would do it with grace notes and with other embellishments, and I just thought it was so lovely. And I think as you go back and look at other players and the players that had come before him, Red Norvo, Lionel Hampton, they didn't play in that style, but his swing, his soulfulness, that's what really drew me to his music, and the way that he could. The rise and fall in his line and the way that he could interpret a melody. It was just really, really lovely. He's such a lyrical player and so melodic.
Developed, you started having opportunities to play all over the world, and you're actually sort of a musical ambassador for a while for the U.S. And can you just tell me a little bit about your experiences with that?
Some of those programs are no longer in existence, as arts programs would be cut. But I was a part of the Arts America program, and it was under the umbrella of the United States Information Agency, which was a part of the State Department. Now they do still have cultural and educational programs, but it's really been reduced, maybe even just down to one office. And in the 1980s, you could apply to that office, to the USIA Arts America program, for the opportunity to tour for them. And I think it was a wonderful opportunity for jazz musicians because it matched a lot of the demands that they had. And the demands are this. The State Department would receive requests from their post, and that would be their U.S. embassies throughout the world. and they would have requests for American artists. So a big part of the program was sending our American culture to places maybe that it wouldn't be otherwise.
Yeah.
And that's what one of the biggest requests was for American jazz music. So how wonderful. And they really took care of the musicians, oftentimes sending you with a complete light and sound crew, and also a cultural affairs officer from the embassy where you would be. But they'd also send an escort with you from Washington to help get you through customs and everything with all the equipment. So I thought it was so nice. But I'll tell you this, and I think every American jazz musician, somehow they have to find an opportunity to do this. You don't really develop so much of an appreciation for our American music until you play it outside of our country. I know that's going to sound like you're contradicting yourself, but the appreciation for our music and for our culture, and clearly clearly jazz music is a big part of our American culture, and it's perceived as that. Through the war years, because of radio, American jazz music became immensely popular in other parts of the world. And now we would get these requests. So I felt very fortunate to tour for them. I think I did 21 countries, and it did take me to a lot of places, obviously.
I want to close out this interview now, because we've got to head across the street, and we've got a jam session, late night jam session tonight with the students and some of the faculty members here.
Good.
And I just want to say before we go, again, I'm so excited to have you here, and I want to let everybody know that's watching the interview that you have a book, a vibraphone method book, which is great and very comprehensive, and there's a new edition just out.
Right.
And so everyone should check that out. And you can also go to jonmetzger.com and get all the information and check out the recordings. You have a lot of CDs out. You're one of the most creative teachers and performers that I know of, and I really am so excited to have you here and working with my students. And I just, I can't tell people enough, you've got to check out Jon Metzger. You need to have him come work with your students. He's great. And so, again, I appreciate you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for saying that. It means a lot, Blake. And I think it's really important that we do this kind of work. I think it's really important that we spend a lot of time with the students, as much as possible. It may sound corny to you when I say this, but they're the future. They're the future of the music. Yes, of course, we're going to get to continue to get to play, and I'm going to enjoy it. But maybe I'm getting old enough now that I can begin to see. So I think it is really, really important that we continue to perpetuate the music, to talk about its important elements, to talk about its important style, because we have to be conscious of the future.
Yeah, definitely. And my students are very excited about tonight and having the chance to play with you and see you play. So.
Yeah, and Blake, if we're sending out compliments, I've got to compliment you too. Your students are among the best. I do get to go other places, and I really enjoy it. But I always know that yours will be really, really well prepared and really working hard, and it's all a reflection on you.
Thanks.
Thank you.